Hey everyone, welcome to Logan's Mosh Pit. Glad to have you here. Today we're going to do another episode of the Setlist Snubs series. In this series, I'm going to pick a handful of songs from different bands that don't get played live very much. However, I'm going to give you some reasons why I feel like those underrated songs actually deserve to get played live more often than they do. If there's a specific band you guys want me to talk about in a future episode of the series, feel free to leave a comment down below. I'll check your feedback. Today we're going to discuss some underrated songs from Eagles. I'm going to use Eagles and the Eagles interchangeably. Doesn't really matter. They're officially called just Eagles. However, sometimes the Eagles just fits more naturally into a sentence, you know. So what more can be said about them? The Eagles burst onto the scene in the 70s. They proceeded to take the world by storm. During the 70s, they practically ruled the world. Even if you aren't an Eagles fan, which, if you're not, you need professional help and we can't be friends, you know exactly who they are. There's no mistaking this band. In fact, their greatest hits, 71 through 75, and Hotel California albums, currently sit at number 1 and number 3 on the best-selling albums in U.S. history. That's no small feat. It doesn't happen by accident. So, let's recap why all bands, not just Eagles, are for and against playing a particular track live at a concert. The first reason is that casual fans are completely devoted to a band's most recognizable tunes. For example, in the Eagles' case, Hotel California, Life in the Fast Lane, Desperado, among others. The casual fans only pursue the most highly acclaimed songs, like those I just mentioned, and stop there. They don't go any further. They're content to just listen to the biggest hits. The next reason is that pressure bearing down on a band from a combination of fans and even the fellow band members to once again perform their biggest hits live. In order to cater to the fans, they feel compelled to please the fans, make them happy at shows, so they leave the concert satisfied. And when they leave the concert satisfied without a twinge of regret, chances are they're probably going to come back to a show later on down the line. So that's the reason why they tend to stick to their most well-known songs when it comes to the set list. The third reason is that less noteworthy albums, such as the Eagles' debut album and Long Road Out of Eden, even though those albums were far from mediocre, they will get overlooked when stacked up against the other albums that the Eagles have released. So you're probably not going to hear very many songs off those two albums live. It's just not going to happen. The next reason is that from time to time, a band loathes a certain song. They want nothing to do with it. Therefore, they purposely conceal that song. They never pull it out at a live show. They just leave it dead and buried. The fifth and final reason why some songs get played live and others don't is that casual fans simply outnumber the amount of hardcore fans. So as a result of that, the input taken from the casual fans carries more weight when presented to the band. The band will listen to the casual fans more often than the hardcore fans, unfortunately. So now let's move on to some Eagles stats, which I found on Setlist.fm. I'll put a link to it in the description. For those of you who have never used Setlist.fm before, all you have to do is type in the name of the band that you're interested in learning more about, followed by tour statistics, then click on the very first result and it will take you to an amazing website which provides information about all the songs they performed live, their albums, tours, pretty much everything about the band will be on that website. You just gotta look. So on Setlist.fm, according to them, the most played live song by the Eagles over the years has been Take It Easy, which could be a couch slogan. Take It Easy has been played live 1,111 times, which equates to 235,532 seconds, or roughly 2.7 days of non-stop listening if you listen to Take It Easy that many times. So now let's move on to 5 somewhat shunned songs by Eagles. Songs that got left in the nest, never were allowed to fly. Each song is off a different album. I picked 5 of them. It was quite grueling, to be honest with you, to narrow this list down to 5 Eagles tunes. I mean, I always have trouble deciding which 5 songs I'm going to pick for each episode of the series, but this time was particularly challenging, even more so than usual. I started off with about 20 songs that I wanted to talk about, then eventually whittled it down to just 5. So, by all means, this isn't the only set of underappreciated Eagles songs out there. You guys will have to let me know the rest of them. So, the Eagles have graced us with a plethora of feel-good, refreshing, and moving songs. Their legacy still shines brightly, even today, and will probably stay that way long after we're gone. I'm positive that Eagles music will endure for at least a century, if not more. They're one of the true music marvels. I mean, you can't escape their music. Everywhere you go, you hear the Eagles music being played wherever you go, wherever you're at. You just can't get away from it. The Eagles had a global impact. Their impact spanned all the way across the world. And they never looked back. So I arranged the songs in descending order from the most played live underrated song to the least played. I'll put a link in the description to all the songs we're going to talk about today. I do have to warn you, though, that you might already know this. The Eagles are notorious for copyright claims. They don't want their music to get out there. They want to keep it to themselves, so it can be hard to discover Eagles music that was originally off the studio albums, including in this case. 3 of the songs that we're going to talk about are live versions. That's all you can find on YouTube. 2 of them are preserved on the studio albums, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. The Eagles are one of the few bands that actually sound better live than they do in the studio, so it might not be an issue for you. You just got to be vigilant when you search for Eagles tunes, because you're not guaranteed to find the original version. You might end up with a live version or a cover version, so just be careful when you're searching for Eagles songs to check thoroughly, make sure you got the real deal in front of you. So anyway, let's start off with the very first underrated track that I chose, called Pretty Maids All in a Row, off the much beloved Hotel California album. This song has been played live 405 times, not a whole lot, roughly 1/3 versus Take It Easy. Every 1 in 3 shows they would pull out this song. This was an absolutely beautiful song. It will probably leave you speechless after you hear it. I know I was. Which became a defining quality of Eagles songs, right? They were known for leaving you baffled beyond words. You can't even explain what you just heard. You just have to recommend it. This became something that separates their music from others, put them on top of the mountain. It nearly made me cry. That's how truly stunning this song was. Pretty Maids All in a Row. So we're off to a great start already. Next up, this song is called Saturday Night. Even though this song is ideal for any day of the week, really. Don't just have to listen to it on Saturday. You can listen to it every day of the week. Why not? Off the Desperado album, Saturday Night has been performed live 160 times. I could only find live versions on YouTube. This was a collaborative effort between all the members, and each voice fits perfectly together. They fit like puzzle pieces. This song seemed like it came straight from the heart. Bland and Eagles just don't go together. They don't mix. So the Eagles were a very vocally driven group, and their instruments were just the cherry on top. They didn't need much more than that. They mainly relied on their voices to get the job done. Instruments were just a bonus. The members are so talented they don't need the instruments as a crutch. The next song is called The Girl From Yesterday off Hell Freezes Over. This song has been performed live 146 times. This song was extremely delicate. Describes a broken relationship. A girl who misses her lover so much she can't be with him. She's not able to spend time together due to circumstances beyond their control. She wants to be with him again, but he has gone away. So soft songs were, I would say, the forte of Eagles. Fit right in with their formula. Even though the Eagles were technically classified as a rock band, they still have tons of lighter materials that's equally enjoyable. You don't just have to settle for one form of song. They cover all of it. There's something for everyone. Next up, I chose After the Thrill Is Gone off the One of These Nights album. After the Thrill Is Gone has been played live just 12 times, sadly. Uses the same minimalistic approach as the previous songs, mainly focused on singing and guitar. That's it. They don't need anything else. They can get by with that. This song felt like another cry for help. There was an exciting solo thrown in on guitar for additional pleasure, so that was great to see. Again, the lyrics and the delivery are the main components that will suck you right in, pull you into this song. So finally, I chose the song Most of Us Are Sad, including me, because this song off the Eagles album has only been performed live twice. That's it. I couldn't believe it. So there's really not much to say about Most of Us Are Sad. It reflects the other songs. The same thing that I already said about the previous tracks applies here. This was off their debut self-titled album, and the Eagles ascended to stardom rapidly following this album because they developed a routine. They stuck with that routine. They developed tender and comforting songs that make you feel better after a long day. You can immediately listen to an Eagles song and feel better. So that's the main driving force that keeps the Eagles' music relevant today. So that does it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate the support. I'll see you next time. Until then, rock on.